Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are going to explain some lines from the essay on criticism by Alexander Pope. First, we should begin with the aim of the poem, or why did Pope write this poem? Alexander Pope wrote this poem to lay down in verse the rules of good art and good criticism. He wanted everyone to stick to what he knows to master it completely. Let's begin with the lines. Pope begins saying that nature to all things fixed the limits fit, and wisely curbed proud man's pretending wit. As on the land, while here the ocean gains, in other parts it leaves wide sandy plains. Pope declares that nature has defined the correct limits of everything without needing the intelligence of man. Nature designed the ocean so that it eats into the sand in some places and leaves wide sandy beaches in others. In these lines, Pope used alliteration when he said, nature to all things fixed the limits fit. He repeats the letter F. He also used a contrast in or between the verbs gain and leave to clarify the meaning. He continues, thus in the soul while memory prevails, the solid power of understanding fails. Where beams of warm imagination play, the memory's soft figures melt away. As for man, he can't understand events and feelings while his memory of them is still strong. But on the other hand, when time passes and his imagination begins to interfere with his memories, the reality of those memories slips away. He used figures of speech in these lines as a metaphor. In these two lines, where beams of warm imagination play, the memory's soft figures melt away. Here he speaks about imagination as a sun with warm beams, and the memory as a wax that melts. Then he continues, one science only will one genius fit, so vast is art, so narrow human wit, not only bounded to peculiar arts, but oft in those confined to single parts. Pope says art and knowledge are vast, and man's intelligence is limited. Most people can do well in only one thing. Sometimes, indeed, they excel in only one part of one thing. He used in these lines figures of speech as a contrast between the words vast and narrow to clarify the meaning again. Then he ends these lines saying, like kings we lost the conquest gained before, by vain ambition still to make them more. Each might his several province will command, with all but stoop to what they understand. Man should be content to do the things he does well, or he will be like kings fighting wars to extend their territory, and so losing their own country. We lose what we have by trying to make it more. If each person were to stick to what he knows best, he would be able to master it completely. Pope used visual images, such as the image of the ocean eating into the land on one hand and leaving wide sandy beaches on the other, or that of the king trying to conquer new lands. The whole poem is written in a heroic couplet. The heroic couplet consists of two rhyming lines of verse. It is usually in iambic pentameter, and it usually carries complete sense within itself, even though it connects to the rest of the poem. It expresses a complete idea. Finally, much of Pope's art depends on the relationships he creates between individual words. Thus, for example, his repetition of the rhyme AA in the first and fifth couplets fit He alters fate so that in the first it is an adjective, while in the fifth it is a verb. Thank you very much.